Everyone, and welcome back. Today we are going to talking about the sum function and also talking about the sum ifs and sum product, sum square, and sum x2 my y2, sum x2 py2. I'm going to show you one by one so how to use the sum function. So this is the kind of tricky tips. You can just follow the instruction and you can use the easily sum your account or your number. You can use for your class, you can use for your presentation or data series. This is just a tricky way you can do with the sum function. I'm going to start with the sum. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the sum. I already made data sheet here, sum of the number of bulbs named here. So here I'm going to just sum this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just use the sum function. Before that, I'm going to just show you in the formula. And from the maths, you can find the sum argument. So here, if I click here, now you can see the function's argument adds all the number in range of cells like the number 1, number 2, and up to 255 numbers to some logical values. And text are ignored in cell included if I type as arguments. I'm going to show you how can you do that. So here I'm going to use like sum, then it say the number. So what I'm going to do, I can do this basically like if I say this is the number and use and for this number, and if I close then hit on the enter, now you can see this adds the number, but I'm going to use for all the numbers. So how can I do that? Just the same way, use the sum and first bracket, then just select the range, then close it, then hit on the enter. Now you can see this is the kind of the sum and it adds all the numbers in here. Okay, the same way I can just do for result. Just go to the sum and use the range, then close it, hit on the enter. Now you can find the sum. Okay, so you can just easily do that. And there is another way you can just do that, like auto sum. Select this one, drag down and use the auto sum alert equal. Just you can use like if I use the keyword alert equal, now you can see the sum and it gives the same number. Okay, same way just you can do here. Just click over here, you can now see that this is the same result with the previous result. And there is another thing, you can also sum the entires. How can you do that? This is the simple way. Just use the sum, select these things and close it. Now you can see this is the kind of the sum entry. It means it counts all the number. So here like the C column, like if I say the 45, now you can see it's changed the counting number and total number. Now if I say like this, the something number different and hit on the enter, now you can see it's changed the number. Okay, so whatever you write the C column, it's come out in your result as a sum. Okay, so you can do for this, like if I use sum, then just select this one, then close it, then hit on the enter. Now you can see it's give the result. Okay, then I'm gonna discuss about the row sum. So how can I do that? The similar as the entire columns. That's what can you do. I'm gonna show you. Use a result in here. Just use a sum. Then what I'm gonna do, just select this and book and close it. Then hit on the enter. Now you can find the result or from the sum returns. And here you can get the result. Okay. The next I'm going to discuss about the sum. If the Excel sum, if function return the sum of cells that meet a single condition. So I'm going to show you the function. This is the like the fruit, price and stock and total value here. I'm going to just sum and do like this one and close it. Now you can see this gives total values here, but I'm going to use like the specific something, like if I wanna looking for bananas and how much it will. So how can I do that? I'm going to show you, like if I say in here apples, then I'm going to use the result in here. Just use the if function. So sum if, then When I use the if, then it asks me, then the criteria, then sum range. So I'm going to use a range. So which range? I'm going to just use this range. Okay, then comma, then the criteria, I'm just writing here, apple, then comma, then it's adds you to the sum range. I'm using the sum range in here. Like if I find in here and close it, then hit on the enter. Now you can see the apples here. It gives a number 456. Let me do that. Change the name apples. If I share it, and now you can see change the result. It gives a different result because I use here the another apples. Okay, and you can do here like if I use the lemons and use it now, you can see here the lemons is $924. Okay, why? Because I use this one, the criteria G6. So for this reason, here I type in something here, it's come with the result. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you another example. Like same way you can just use some if then range. So I'm gonna use this range and criteria. I can say the apple and comma, then some range day one, and close it, then hit on enter. Now you can find the result. Next thing I'm gonna use the SUMIF function here. It's the data sum if functions, the multiple sum functions. Like if you do have the lots of data and you can sum them, so you can use the sum if number to find out, and it will do the sum or adds the number. So how can I do that? Just use the sum if, then it says the cell specifies a given set of condition or criteria. It says the sum range. So it asks me the first sum range. So if I select this one, it asks me the criteria range, which criteria I do want to use. So I'm going to use a criteria from here. That it asks me to the criteria 1. So I'm going to use this one for criteria. Then if I want two more criteria, select this one. Then it asks me for the criteria, then comma, then for criteria. So I'm going to use the criteria here and close it, hit on the enter. Now you can see is 0 because I did not mention anything here. So if I use here the, let me see it. So here you find the sum like the A, and also find the banana because I'm looking for banana and the A, and also it doesn't count the B because it has the B, but I'm looking for also A. So if I change this one, let me just finish it. Now you can see it's changed the sum. It gives us 16 result. So you can also easily do for the like apple and hit on the enter. Now you can see that here also the 1, 2, 3 apples, but it gives only the 4 because it has only, there is another criteria. It say it if I use the A, then let me just see it how it will come is keep the 8. Why? Because it is the A, and it is the A, it is the apple, and it is the apple. Okay, so two range, two criteria, you can find it, you can give the result to your data. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna show you, first do the sum square. So how can I do that? Here sum value already mentioned. Now I'm going to use the sum square function. If I do the things, it will come up the 9, and if I do the 5, it will come up the 25. So total it will come up the 34. But I'm using the sum square for the result. So I'm gonna use, let me just use the sum square, like click, then use the sum square, then close it. Then it says the number. So I'm gonna use the number and use this number and close it and hit on the enter. Now you can see it gives a 34, and take out the decimal. You can scroll down and it will give you the number. Okay, let me change this one. Like if I say the 2, and you can now see this is the 4. So you can use the result also the same way. The next thing I'm going to show you sum x to my 2, and this is the kind of the mathematics. So I can say this is the minus a minus. Okay, it can be minus, and I'm gonna use the equal, then write sum, x2 by 2. Then I'm going to use this array, and next array I'm gonna use for 5, so it will gives me the result or value minus 16. Okay, if I gonna use this one like 5, what will come? It gives the result 0. Okay, let me do with the 2 and hit on the enter. Now it gives me the minus 25. If I do with the 6, what will get? It gives the 11. Same way, you can just do drag down and it will give you the value. The next thing I'm gonna show you with the sum x or 2py formula, use sum, then x2 pyz2, and first one, then it says the array or x, or I'm going to use this one and use this one for array, then close it, then hit on the enter. Now you can see the result. I'm gonna do the take out the decimal and just I'm gonna scroll down, and now you can find it gives you the number. Okay, so there you have it, and the sum function in Excel. This function is a great tool for counting the number. Thanks for watching.